Hey everyone, Kathy Buccio here with Talk Shop Live, and I'm so excited to be joined by Grammy-nominated singer, songwriter, producer Linda Perry and her new album, Let It Die Here. We are here at Soho Sessions. She is going to be joined by Rolling Stone's music critic, David Frick, and we're going to take a deep dive into the new album, and you can shop it here by clicking that shop button and enjoy the show.
The only person that can be loud is John McEnroe, all right, everybody? Then you know that. Nobody else.
I'm going to start by saying that I just met Linda for the first time about a half hour ago, and it was a pleasure to be able to say that this new record, Let It Die Here, is a very special event. Obviously, I know her. And think they know her from the work, from the hits, from the work she's done for other artists. But here she's, once you hear the record, once you hear these performances, you're going to understand that artistic commitment is something that starts inside. It starts personally, it starts with your life, and it starts with the things that you learn from life and learn to express and share with others so they can have that resonance as well. Although I will point out that Let It Die Here is only the third album you've ever made under your own name in, I'll say, 30 years. And it's the first one since After Hours.
I gotta
no,
go.
Wait a minute. We're not done here. We're not done here. Since 99. And I did the math, and I went, it makes the 13 years I waited for Guns N' Roses to finish Chinese Democracy look like a coffee break. I know that there's a story behind why here and why now, but before I get to that, what does it feel like to actually take this step this far down, given everything you've been able to do over those last 27 years?
Jesus, David, like you just
There are
came
no
in
softballs here.
Yeah, that was a hard throw. I don't know. I mean, I was in a band, and it was the first band I've ever been in. And during those times, people who are musicians here, that sometimes when you get in a band, you commit to that, right? Like that's your sound, that's your style, that's your whatever. And then
It's your mission.
Right. But then for me, I was a kid and I wasn't ready to make this commitment about like, oh, I'm going to sound like this. And I had a lot of influences. I had a journey to go on. And so I left the band. I made a record called In Flight that I kind of wanted to do this dark kind of, I don't know what the fuck that was, but I thought it was a really beautiful record. And it got shelved. Because I didn't call it Four Non Blondes. It was like the craziest things. Like, why would I call it Four Non Blondes? And
there's only one of you.
Right. And so I don't know. It hurt my feelings. My feelings got hurt. This honesty. I'm not the kind of person that's going to sit here and say, oh, me putting my art out is good enough. It's not. It's not good enough for me. I want success. And I mean success in wanting people to hear it. You make something, I want it to be heard. I don't want it to just sit in my fucking bedroom, and me admire. There's no point of that to me. I create to be heard or seen or to influence or impact. And that didn't happen. And it kind of fucked me up. And I kind of squandered around a little bit, like, oh, what the fuck am I going to do if I don't, you're too fucking sensitive, Linda. Like, you can't be in the music business. And then I moved to LA really reluctantly. And all of a sudden, I'm like this producer, songwriter, and it made all the sense in the world. It's like, oh, that way I can explore all the options. I can explore all the music that I love, all the influences. And so technically, I've been doing that for 20-something years. And I had a really great journey there until, Don Hardy directed this or made this documentary that I didn't know I was doing. I mean, at all. And he kind of, made his way in and captured a moment where I was really struggling. And life happened, and it's really raw. It's really embarrassing. But after I watched the documentary, it influenced and inspired an album. So I didn't make an album because I planned on it. It happened because there was a documentary that was made that I didn't plan on either. So I'm assuming I'm supposed to be here. You're supposed to be talking to me, and I'm supposed to release this embarrassing
those are the
body of
cards
work.
you were dealt. But the thing that's interesting is that you are actually, one of the reasons this record exists is because you were asked to play a set of songs after a screening, an early screening about 2 years ago. At the Tribeca Film Festival. And you realized that you didn't have as many songs to play on that occasion.
Well,
and that the songs started
I had tons of songs. I just didn't have the right songs because when Tribeca said,
well, that's an interesting distinction,
yeah,
the right songs.
Yeah, I didn't have the right songs. And so Tribeca asked if, I would perform because they premiered the documentary. It's taken all this time for the documentary actually to come out, but which comes out tomorrow. When they asked me to perform, I was like, well, what am I going to play? Like old Four Non Blonde, songs that I don't relate to. And I'm not going to play that record that failed, so I'm not playing that. And what am I going to play? Get the Party Started? Like, it's like it didn't, nothing made sense. And so I was like, well, I'll just write a record, and I wrote a record in 3 weeks. So the beauty of that was I was able to write it and then perform it. And I did that I think we did 3 shows or something like somewhere. But it was great because, I got to see how the songs worked. And they came off really well, and it was emotional.
What made them right? Because you make the distinction if they didn't
because
feel
I wrote
right.
it about the documentary. The documentary is about my mom and about the damage. I had a really broken home, but the honesty about that, it's really inspired me who I am. Without being beaten up a few times and being told you're amount to nothing and all that. That gave me incredible fuel. So I have a very abusive, manipulating, powerful. Oh my God, my mom was so powerful and beautiful, but man, she was a con artist, a manipulator. She was abusive. She was my villain and my hero. And it was hard because here I want to embrace my hero, but she's beating me, So it's like she's my villain, but she's so powerful and a survivor. So, so the movie is about that, and it's just like, but it's also about how lost I got being a producer and a songwriter. It's like I'm a feeler, and so I'm writing all these songs for people. I'm putting on their outfits. I'm not taking it off. I'm getting buried and buried and buried in a closet filled with everybody else's clothes, and now I'm like, who am I? What am I going to write for myself? I don't even know who I am anymore. And
was this like a process of resolving things for you that the songs actually started telling you how you were getting through that? Like the songs weren't just the process, but they were actually giving you almost an encouragement to go through this.
So
because in a sense, music does that. It's sort of like it gives you an outlet to express things that you wouldn't normally do in conversation, you wouldn't normally do in a meeting or just meeting somebody. If you're talking to somebody in a bar, you're not going to reveal the kind of things that will come out in a song because there's almost an armor in it.
Oh no, David, I do. I'm that transparent.
You're that free. Okay.
I'm like, listen, everything in my documentary happened to everybody in here. The meltdown, the craziness, the ugliness. But I filmed it and putting it out in the world. Like you guys are hiding it. That's how this, it's fucking embarrassing. Like they're so raw. I'm like going, oh my God. But when I write, I don't even write. It's like it just happens. Like, it's just a beautiful flow. It's like.
Actually, it was interesting. I was talking to Lenny Kaye, the great guitar player with Patti Smith and The Critic, and he was talking about making music with Patti and, the way songs start to take shape out of improvisations and poems and such. And he made the analogy that it's like space dust sort of cohering into a planet.
I don't fucking know what that means. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Okay, David, come back. Come back. Here, David. I know you've been around a lot. Probably did a lot of ecstasy or acid.
It was an analogy.
Okay. All right, I don't know. You could be high right now. I have no idea.
I'm a writer. What
We've
can I
never
tell
met.
You? This is what I do for a fucking living.
Anyways,
actually, you'd be a very good editor.
I would.
You would have told me that's horseshit. Get it out of there.
It is.
Don't bore us. Get to the chorus.
I think that, for me, writing it's beyond anything I understand. And I don't mean, I'm not a hippie. I'm not a spiritual person at all. But something happens. It's like when you hear and make the connection, all I do is grab a guitar or sit at the piano, and the song just comes. It just shows up.
The title song of the film and the documentary, Let It Die Here, what came first? Was it that phrase, or was it something that led to that phrase?
That's what I'm telling you. I don't have a premeditated thought. There's no lyric. There's no chord. There's no arrangement. There's no style. I just sit down, and it shows up. The lyrics show up. The melody, the arrangement, as if I wrote the song already. It all flows, and then I ad-lib, I improv, I just keep playing the song around, and then all of a sudden, I record it on my iPhone, I put it down, and I just record it there, and then I go back and I listen, and then I just fill in the blanks of flubs of lyrics that I missed. And then I don't even know what the song is about until I understand what the song's about. And then I get a few going on, and then a story is starting to, present itself. And in this case, it ended up being about my mom and the damage that I have felt I've been carrying. And then somewhere in the middle, it takes a turn. And then I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I can find a way out of this. And I do. And then there's a positive kind of light in there. And then I'm like, now, who am I without the villain, without the pain, without the blame, blaming somebody? Who am I without someone to fight? And that's basically what the album ends up being about. Like, okay, the villain is gone. How long are you going to carry this, Linda? When are you going to let it go? You don't have anybody to fight. So what's the excuse? Why are you still fucked up? Why is your head still twisted? I think it's just because that's who I am. And I have to come to a point where I have to realize I'm okay with that. That will be my sacrifice because I love the art the damage produces.
Because you also have a song that comes later in the record called Liberation, which suggests that there's a certain freedom and a certain positive momentum that comes out of that kind of intensity, that you can actually see that road forward, even though you know how much these songs document everything that put you in that place.
So in the album, I took, because I scored the documentary, and mind you, I told Don this later, but I never watched it. I watched the documentary once with him, but when I scored it, I couldn't bear it. So I just scored it on memory and emotion. So listen, I'm not watching the movie at all when I scored it. So I came up with this piece, Liberation, and I think Don actually calls it something else in the movie, but it's just a musical piece. I put transitional pieces. They're just, instrumentals. And I felt those were important because I needed to transition the emotion for people. And you know, listen, we're in a world where, you know, people are skimming by. They're just streaming stuff. They're not listening to full albums. I get that. But this is an album. It's not something that, you know, you take to go. It's like you have to sit and listen to it and drink some wine and have dinner and take it in. And I know that's a lot to ask, but it's the only kind of record I could make because I don't know how to just, you know, make something that's like, okay, you know, a microwave, you know, here you go, just warm it up in the microwave. So all these transitional pieces were important.
Well, I will say that having listened to it, and the first time I listened to it, I did go all the way through. And that really is, it's the only way to listen to it. You'll find some songs that you want to go back to, but, and I agree, I come up in an album age, you know, those are the stories that I wanted to hear and that changed me and made me want to take the path that I had. But that kind of commitment is really worth it because we spend way, way, way too much time with the phones, the streaming, people flicking their screens on the subway. I heartily recommend you do that. And I'm not saying that as a critic or as a writer, but as a guy who got to hear the record and was very grateful for that. One thing I would like to ask, though, is as a writer for other artists, is there a way that you need to have that sense of labor and where you're going with something for someone else? Do you have to make a distinction between what's for you and what's for somebody else? How that's going to be processed through another voice, through another personality?
No, because, you know, when Christina Aguilera did Beautiful, like originally I wrote that song for myself and I didn't understand it because, you know, when I said the words, I am beautiful, I was like, you know, put on the brakes. Like, I don't think that at all. I'm like, I can't say that. I don't fucking believe that at all. And so I always tell everybody, do not edit. You know, just write the song. Just write the song. Just let it be what it's going to be. And so I went back to the piano. It's like, okay, I'm just going to finish writing the song. And then I wrote the song. And thank God it wanted me to bring You Are Beautiful and We Are Beautiful because I couldn't handle if I had to keep singing I Am Beautiful through the whole chorus. And so I just listened to it and I was like, okay. And then she, you know, I was going to work with her and I said, you know, you can come to my studio, but no posse, no managers, no distractions, can't bring labels. It's just you, nobody else. And she was like, you know, Christine's like little pop princess, you know, diva at the time. And she shows up and she's, you know, will you play a song? Because, you know, I want you to break the ice. And I'm like, all right. And so Beautiful was the most freshest thing. And so I sat down and I played it. And she gets closer and she's like, you know, I want to do that song. I want that song for my record. I'm getting to your question. And so...
I love digressions.
Yeah, so I said, okay, weird. You know, you're like a hot chick. You know, why would you want to do a song like this? No one's going to believe that. You know, they're going to think you're an arrogant person, you know, singing, I am beautiful. You know, can you imagine, like, Christina, I'm beautiful? But she did. But so I said, you know what? I'm going to see how she does it.
How she internalizes
it. So I said, okay. I let her sing it. And as soon as she opened up her mouth, you know, and I've told this story many times, but I let her bring a friend the next day. Can I bring my friend? I'm like, yeah. And then I turned the music on and she's like, don't look at me. And then as soon as she said that, I was like, oh, I understand what this song is about. She's insecure. It's about not feeling like you're beautiful. And how all the elements and all the things about life can make you feel bad and they bring you down. People's harsh words. People are fucking harsh. They're harsh. It's harsh. It's like, I can't believe it. I really can't believe how mean people can be. And with social media, it's just gotten worse, you know? And so when she sang it, I just was like, okay, I'm going to give it to her, and I'm going to make a decision right now. I'm either going to keep it and be an artist, or I'm going to give it to her and become a producer and a songwriter. So I made the decision, I'm going to be a producer and a songwriter. And that's basically what flipped me over. So I don't write songs for people that I intend to keep for myself. When I'm writing for somebody, anybody in this room, that is your song. You brought that in with you. I'm just finding it in your energy, you know, and that's how I work. I dig, I interview, I dig and figure out what's wrong with you, because I love broken people. I love it. You know, makes me feel better.
They're an endless source of fascination.
Yeah, totally. I'm emotional. You're going to cry. Fuck yeah.
They're an endless source of material.
I'm not looking for hits. I really am. Like, those are once that fly in and out. Who cares? But I love those album tracks. I love those emotional moments in people where they break and they give you this sense of honesty. And that moment, you actually believe them. And you can feel like, okay, I know why this person is an artist. And it's very rare nowadays to find that. But it's like, so no, I don't write to keep or to even audition if that song is going to be mine.
What was it like to reclaim the song Beautiful for this record, to come back to it? Did you find something new in it that you could say is in fact yours? Again, you wrote it, but she took it out there.
Yeah, but, you know, I can
Does it mean
lend
something
somebody my
different
car,
now?
and
Does
it
it mean
doesn't mean
something
it's
different now?
theirs. You know, it's what? What's funny? I understand what you're saying.
Okay. Don't worry, I can deal.
When I get nervous, I joke around.
That's all right.
That's my tell. Okay, and I'm okay telling you that. You know, every song lives in me. It's my emotion. I wrote the words. I don't feel like I had to reclaim it. I just think I felt like I need to feel like I was worthy of it.
Did it fit differently?
Well, I never tried it on before.
Well, just in terms of like, did it fit in terms of singing it and understanding not just the person who wrote it, but who that person is now?
Well, it's not the song that Christina did, because in that perspective, it was very different. Like, for me, the reason I put it in the album was because it comes right after that song Suitcase. And it's a really great transition, because Suitcase is about, all the things our parents give us. Like, the metaphor would be,
it's baggage.
It's baggage. It's a suitcase. My mom gave me this torn, weathered, leather, beautiful brown suitcase. And I never looked in it. I just carried it around. And then in the middle of this album, it's like as if I finally just stopped and said, I wonder what's in here. And I open it up, and it's filled with all her stuff. So I've been carrying around this suitcase filled with my mom's stuff, and I never once thought about emptying it and putting my own stuff in it. And so that's kind of what the album is about. And so I emptied it out, and now, I have a toothbrush in there, maybe a pair of socks. That's about it. It's very slow.
But they're yours.
But they're mine, and I don't even know what you just asked me. I just went into that. But So Beautiful comes in, I remember, I got myself back. So Beautiful helps that transition, because you brought me down. You made me feel this way. You are the one that's using these words that are, corrupting and making me crazy and not understanding who I am. And no, you can't do that anymore. So that's how the song is treated now, with me singing it. It's got a different story to it. But that's me. I'm never going to beat Christina's version because I'm not Christina and she has an incredible voice. I did my version that fits me. So there's no comparison.
Well, I made a note here actually that sort of relates to that in the sense that, a song is never done even after it's recorded because anyone can sing it and anyone can tell a story with it, whether it's the writer, another singer, or even if someone's doing karaoke. They're relating to that song in a personal way. They might be a little loaded, but something will come through because they're relating to that song in a very emotional way. And in a sense, songs are never done because they always take on another life each time they're performed.
I concur.
As a songwriter, do you see that happening with your work as it gets out there? Do you pay that much attention to the work once it's out there? Or are you moving on to the next project, the next song, the next experience?
From the artist putting it out there, or?
Well, yeah, say when the artist gets it out there, have you sort of said, okay, you've left home. I've got other stuff to do.
No, I'm a control freak. I'm like calling the A&R, I'm calling the label, I'm calling the manager going, what the fuck are you guys doing? You're blowing it. And I get really involved to a point where it's just like, Linda, come on. It's like there's no point, but I get I'm a little difficult sometimes because I'm so passionate to a fault where you think you're doing something amazing. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about? Like you get so passionate. It's like, I'm incredible. I'm amazing. Everything I'm doing is so incredible because I'm so passionate. It fucks with you because sometimes you're wrong. And it's like, it's not my journey. My journey is my journey. Like if so-and-so does a song, it's not my journey. It's their journey. And if their team is not doing a good job, I can't step in because it's their journey. And if they fail or succeed, it's got to be because that's their path. And those are the lessons I've had to learn because my passion is to a fault to where it can be a much, and I think it really it's in the end of the day, it's, oh God, Linda, I'm like, again, putting myself down, like, and then that's where my mom comes in. It's like, Linda, you're fucking a loser. Stop fucking thinking you know everything and all that. And so I have to back up. And then I hate that. I hate backing up. I hate pulling away because, I just want to drive and drive and drive and work and work and work and push and push and push because I know. But it's like you have to stop. And it's like, when you push against a wall that's secure, you fucking go lose your energy because you're not pushing that wall anywhere. You're not going anywhere. The only thing that's going to happen to you is you're going to feel defeated and weak and get tired and frustrated. And that's kind of what I tend to do.
There's a song on the record, actually the first song on the record, that I wanted to ask about before you do the performance, and that's Balboa Park, which you've actually talked about as being actually quite autobiographical, that actually refers to a park in San Diego where you spent a lot of time with a real interesting group of people. What made you
say
go?
It? They're a bunch of queers, drag queens. Surfers.
I spent
punks,
a lot of time with
mods,
misfits, so I get it.
Straight people, new wave.
It sounds like basically the population of the world.
Yeah, loved it.
What was it like going back and recalling that and putting it in a song?
Well, I wanted to start the album. Well, I wrote the song, and so in San Diego, I was raised in there's this place called the Fruit Loop, and it's in Balboa Park, and and this is like, what, 80s? I don't know. I'm like, a kid. And we'd walk up, get our drugs for the day, go sit down. And in the park, you know, you have the queers, you have the punks, you have the mods. You know, nobody, you know, the mods and punks didn't want to mix because they were like, you know, totally fighting with each other all the time, right? You know, and then there was the new wave wannabes. There was the surfer girls and the surfer boys, the skaters, and it was awesome, you know. And then people would drive around and just stare out the freaks. So there'd be all the boom boxes all over the place playing all different types of music, you know. And although it was kind of dark, I mean, I lived there, I slept there, I played hide and seek on acid out there in the zoo. I mean, you know, breaking into the fucking zoo on acid and playing hide and seek, it's not, I mean, it's scary, all right? And, you know, because you don't know what you're going to do on acid. Like I could jump in a lion's cage, who knows, right? And so, anyways, but I remember it being oddly innocent, and I was happy. Like I had this moment of happiness with this weird freak family and living in the park and just being happy. And so I started the album with that, and the song, I'm singing it weird, you know, because it's like, oh, I didn't have a boisterous voice back then. I had a kind of a timid, broken voice. And so it just came out that way. It's like the song was like, I tried to sing it big, Linda style, and it kept on going, And I'm like, how do you want me to sing it? And it's just like, and I just stop, and I'm like, okay, sing it the way it wants to be sung. And it'd be like, you know, sold my bed, broke, you know, coat, lost some, ugly, you know, and so it was very, you know, broken.
And it's got kind of a lighthearted step about it, but then you have that effect. It's almost like church with the tubular bells.
Yeah, tubular bell. I have theremin. I mean, everything in that song.
It's like the kitchen sink.
Yeah.
But actually, that you mentioned about that circus feel of the music, the soundtrack, and that really, I think that explains a lot about what this record does, which is there are so many different textures and influences in it. You've got, like in Push Me in the River, it's like a driving rocker, but then you end it with a string coda. Mm-hmm. So you've got these different moods and episodes that really, they kind of reflect the way, maybe what you heard in that park.
Yes. Well, to me, it was a circus, you know, and I've always loved, you know, circus theme things, but there's tubular bells in that too, and Push Me in the River.
Actually, but I noticed those.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't know. I feel weird talking about myself still right now. Like I almost want to just play music, but I think that
you'll get it in a second.
I don't know. I'm feeling weird right now. But I'm like, I don't know. See, I'm just so fucking transparent. Anybody could like gun for me and like find all my weaknesses, but I find it oddly powerful to be so transparent too. Like there's something incredible that comes from it, you know. So I dig it. I'm kind of into it. So whatever. But I think, you know, again, that theme does run through the whole album, and you know, and not everything is dark. I mean, then all of a sudden, I don't know, Neil Diamond showed up in the song. I mean, I'm playing this. I wrote this song. I wrote it. And I sang it, I produced it down, and then I hear the mix back, and I'm like going, when did fucking Neil Diamond hijack my song and start singing it? And I sound like Neil Diamond in there, and I'm like, how, what? I don't even understand. But I just did what the songs wanted me to do, you know? So there's all these, you know, I called it schizophrenia. Kelly Clarkson called it layers of color, you know? God bless her.
Are you,
you know?
Are you looking forward to taking these songs out to perform in person? I know you're headlining. You're doing a show at Red Rocks. You've got a gig in England at the O2. Are you looking forward to performing more?
Yeah, I like performing. I like it because, I don't know, I make mistakes left and right. There's something real about it. I like that experience of just not knowing what I'm going to do. Like tonight, I haven't played these songs, and I played them like once or twice, and I didn't have time to really rehearse them with Nick, so I'm just going to freeform it, kind of. Hopefully I get through it. It'll be fine, because you know what? That's just what music is. And I think thank you, but I think it's also good to hear songs like that, just like where they come from and making mistakes. They're not perfect. The studio makes it perfect, but in reality, it's not, and it's not supposed to be perfect.
This is going to be the humanity of it.
Yes. So, Four Non-Blondes, weirdly, a whole other, let's just jump to that really quick. So, I have this studio and I have this really nice lawn in front of it. And so every year, kind of like somebody will come, hey, are you going to put Four Non-Blondes back together? I got a show that you can do. It'd be great. You can make so much money doing these festivals. I'm like, no. And they're like, everything is like, no, it's never going to happen. And so, I don't know, in beginning of 25, I don't know where it was, but I went out in my lawn and I'm like, okay, I'm good. I'm good with Four Non-Blondes. That's it. That's all I said. And then it might have been a week or 2 weeks later, my manager calls me up. Hey, I got an interesting offer. And I'm like, and I knew already. He's like, Bottle Rock wants Four Non-Blondes to play. And I just started laughing. And I'm like, of course they do. Of course they do. There's something powerful about asking the universe for things. Because I truly do believe if you feel worthy of it, in that moment of time, we don't always feel worthy, but in that moment where we're feeling powerful and strong and like we deserve abundance or anything, you ask the universe and you will get it. It comes. It really does. I truly believe in that. So it showed up. I called up the band one by one, said, hey, we got this offer. They're like, Linda? I haven't talked to them. Anyway, so we go. And so I said, I had one little thing. I said, listen, I'll do the shows, but I only can play 2 songs from that album, Train and What's Up. But I'm not playing any other songs. And they were like, okay, so what are we going to play? And I'm like, I'm going to work on that. And I kid you not, this is the only time I'll really brag. I wrote the greatest 90s record for that band. I mean, it's so good. So we went out and we played all new songs. And I even put What's Up in the middle of the set because I wanted to see if people would leave after What's Up. And so bold, right? And so I put it in the middle and everybody stayed because I said to the band, they were like, we can't put What's Up in the middle, everybody's going to leave. I said, if we do our job right, nobody will leave after What's Up. So it was really great. So we recorded the record. I'll probably drop a couple songs this side of the year and then the record will come out in 27. But I'm really excited about it because it's so opposite of what I'm releasing. It's fun and dumb, and it's got hooky choruses, it's rockin', and it's just got that 90s feel, and I'm excited about it. So that I'm really excited about playing. Yeah. My album, I'm nervous.
Well, the album Let It Die Here is out tomorrow. The documentary is in select theaters tomorrow, directed by Don Hardy, but right here, right now, Linda Perry.
Thank you. Thank you, David.
Thank you.
And don't forget to get your signed copy of Linda's new album, Let It Die Here. If you're watching on the platform, click that shop button. And if you're watching on Facebook and Instagram, comment the word shop. You're going to get a link directly into your DMs to purchase. And if you're watching on YouTube, click on the link in description to get your purchase underway. You'll get a signed CD, or there is a signed 2LP desert glass vinyl, limited quantities available. So make sure that you act fast.
Feel like I'm drowning all over again, caught in the crossfire, lost in the wind, quietly waiting, swarming around, yeah, dark like the moon, hiding under the ground. We all want something, yeah, we all want something, a right to be for something, storm. Yeah, we need changes, but nothing ever changes. Yeah, we need to change this. Feathers in a storm, caught in your quicksand. All of us right here, we could be fearless or disappear. We can't be lovers, we can't be friends, but we can be dreamers and we can pretend. You're like a chained up heart, blackened by the stone and shard. We all want something, yeah, we all want something, a right to be for something. Feathers in a storm, yeah, we need changes, but nothing ever changes. Yeah, we need to change this. Feathers in a storm. Oh, yeah, we will fly away. Oh, we will fly away. Oh, we will fly away. Blackbird, oh no. Oh, we will fly away. You're like a chained up heart, blackened by the stone and shard. We all want something, yeah, we all want something, a right to be for something. Feathers in a storm, yeah, we need changes, but nothing ever changes. Yeah, we need to change this. Feathers in a storm. Oh, yeah, we will fly away. Oh, we will fly away. Oh, we will fly away. Blackbird. Listen, I'm gonna fuck up some shit, okay? I might get really mellow too. Every day is so wonderful, and suddenly it's hard to breathe. And now and then I get insecure from all the pain. I'm so ashamed. I am beautiful, no matter what they say. Words can't bring me down. I am beautiful in every single way. Yeah, well, words can't bring me down. So don't you bring me down today. To all your friends, you're delirious. You're so consumed and all your doom. Trying hard to fill the emptiness. The piece is gone, left the puzzle undone. Ain't that the way it is? But you are beautiful, no matter what they say. Words can't bring me down. You are beautiful in every single way. Words can't bring you down. Oh no, no. So don't you bring me down today. No matter what we do, no matter what we say, well, the song inside the tune are full of beautiful mistakes. And everywhere we go, the sun will always shine. But tomorrow we might awake on the other side. We are beautiful, no matter what they say. Words can't bring us down. We are beautiful in every single way. Don't you know that words can't bring us down? So don't you bring me down today. Don't you bring me down.
Before we go, I just want to remind everyone to shop Linda's new album. If you're watching on TalkShopLive, click the shop button. And if you're on Facebook and Instagram, comment the word shop. You're going to get a link directly into your DM. You can get a signed CD or a 2-set LP vinyl, desert glass vinyl, that are only in limited quantities, so make sure you get your copy now. And if you're watching on YouTube, click that link in description to get your signed copies now.